Alright, welcome back to another episode of Art Time, where today we're going to be drawing, or at the very least shading and texturing, the next episode of Elementals Reborn. As you can see, this episode mostly consists of Gwyneth and Domador and this guy right over here. I don't know his name just yet, but he is going to be an important character for this particular storyline. One episode storyline, but a storyline nonetheless. And these guys are the bandits. Not the bandit leader, no, this guy's he's like second command or something. No, the real bandit leader will be shown in a very special 2-episode arc. I mean, this series is kind of in a similar vein to how Cowboy Bebop runs its course, where the episodes mostly consisting of the main canon takes like 2 episodes to go through, and then the rest is basically filler and, episodics kind of deal. You know what I mean? But yes, regardless, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. So these bandits are getting a little bit more, showcase. We got bandit number 1, bandit number 2, bandit number 3, and bandit number 4. And they're all guys, just FYI. They may look like he has breasts, but he has like a drape over here, that kind of like drapes over his entire second part of his body and whatnot. These are bandits of which harass a lot of the royals, those who got money in. He looks like he's a part of royalty, does he not? But also you got Gwyneth and Domador here, and they're kind of like wanting a grudge match, and they got their second in command here to help out. He's not as strong as the leader, but he is just as strong. Regardless of the fact that we got the bandit continuations, and we got a cat that's in heat and who's going to be annoying for the next week. Maybe it won't last that long, who knows. Thankfully it's during my vacation week, so I don't have to worry about that. And that's why I'm recording it during the day. Yes, vacation week. Feels good, doesn't it? And I have to worry about work for a freaking week. But then I gotta worry about this cat for a freaking week who won't shut up when she's in heat. Right, cat? So yes, I can get a lot more stuff done with here in this week. I technically already got a few. I got Adventurous Armies 18th episode out and ready on Monday, I think it was? Yeah. And now I am working on Elementals Reborn, and next I'm going to work on Heavenly Deadland. After that, I'm not sure. I might work on the hardcore mature drawing, and I'll try to work on the landscapes and scenery drawing before, next week begins. I don't know why, but I had a strange whiff. I killed a bunch of ants in the bathroom. And when I was down here, I had a strange whiff of ant corpse while I was eating my cereal. So I feel my brain is telling me, you ate an ant. But I'm like, no, it definitely has to be the scent from the friggin' dead ants on my hand. Well, not on my hand, the pheromones that still resides there. Would you shut up, cat? Where are you? But yes, my brain thinks I ate an ant, but I'm sure I did not. It's just the pheromones from my hand that came forth with the thing, but my brain does not want to see it like that. Because it's stupid. That's right, I'm not calling you stupid. Shut up! I'm calling you stupid too, cat, because your meows are not helping you. We go through this every time you're in the heat. There is no cats that can get in here in the first place. So yes, I might be coughing a bit, because my brain thinks I consumed an ant, even though I did not. Stop it! Stop scratching! She's on the box right now. I don't know if you can see her. No, you can't. Well, you can't see her right now regardless, because of the hole. There she is. That's right, we see you. We see you, cat, right there. See that pointing at you? And even though it's not pointing at you, it's pointing at you like on the camera. Maybe not work. Alright, anyways, enough distractions. We gotta try to get this done with. I want to try to get this done with today, if at all possible. Then I want to try to post it today. Hopefully have enough time to do that. And then I'm going to record an episode of Game Crafters, even though it's a Tuesday. But it's fine, because I'm giving myself a little bit more time to try to work on these projects before I go on to Game Crafters. And that one's a simple one. All I gotta do there is make the mini-map. Then I gotta make some levels and show the process of getting levels made in Photoshop. And then after that, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll work on Heavenly Deadland after that. No, that's not working. That's Hair 1D. Regardless, though, I've got a pretty busy week ahead of me. And it's good that I don't have to worry about work. For a time being, at least. It's going to be rather suckish having to go back there. Because apparently, this week is probably the hottest week out there. And it's getting hotter. It's only going to get worse, it seems, so I'm hoping fall can come soon with its cool air. It makes me wonder if the winters are going to get hotter instead of colder. Because, being the fact that the summer's even more hot now, and you have to imagine that now the winters is just going to be, it's no snow anymore, now it's just going to be a whole bunch of rain. I don't know. We're close to the sun, and the summer heat continues to be a nuisance. Oh, that does make me wonder, though, because I don't remember the Earth's particular orbital pattern. Is that what's causing the seasons? My memories of that knowledge is very lost within the amounts of creations that I've made, as well as all the other things that I know and have learned. So it's hard for me to be able to go through the cabinet files of my memory bank in order to try to figure out, is that the right answer? Brain is telling me that seems like the right answer, but I don't have enough confidence in saying yes, it is. Because, it's been a while since I've had to learn that. I'm not going to look it up right now. I'm busy. I got to get this finished and done with. So, yeah. The bandits are kind of like the semi-antagonists, even though they're not the major threat of the world. They do have antagonistic roles. They're just, not the major threat. Major threat to, everything. You've seen how the dark mages work and how powerful they are. These bandits, though, they got numbers, but they're still not strong enough. So far, we've only seen 3 dark mages. And one of which is very strong. We haven't seen the other one fight, and the other one that we did saw fight got his ass handed to him. But I think that's primarily because he wasn't expecting a 4-person group to come up and roll his numbers. Which, yes, makes sense. You come in, deal with the usual 2 guards you're dealing with, see 4 more guys, 2 guys and 2 girls at least. 4 more people come up to challenge you. They beat your ass. You weren't prepared for this, and you escape. You escape. Needless to say, we don't know too much about them and their fighting styles outside of the 2 that we've seen. One's not impressive. Just got a whiff of the ant again. But one's not impressive. The other one is slightly more so. Now I got something weird in the back of my throat. Maybe I did consume an ant, but now it's stuck. No, I don't feel it. Goddamn freaking insects need to learn to just die already. Nope, nothing. Although I am getting a weird fragrance. Could be a tonsil stone I'm trying to pull up, though. Nope, nothing's coming out yet. You would figure if it was an ant, it would be easy, so I must be pulling up a tonsil stone. You know those weird white stones that make your breath smell bad? That crap. Doesn't make any sense when you think about it. Why would your throat hold that stuff? Why would it need to hold it? Why wouldn't it just let it go into the stomach acid and dissolve it? Who knows? All I know is I got an irritant in the back of my throat, and it's annoying. I'm just getting whiffs of dead ants. Let me just check to see if I even have any dead ant corpse on my hands. What if it's the queen trying to, like, control me, but she can't because I'm just... My brain is too freaking high level for it to comprehend. Like with Bobby Hill. I don't know how the hell that would occur with Bobby Hill. I'm sure there's, like, impressionable children out there who could easily be controlled by ants. Oh man, what if that's the thing you guys have to worry about? Well, I say you guys, but no children watch these videos. Why would they? But what if that's a problem you as a parent has to worry about? You see your kid like going up to an anthill, they get like hit with pheromones from the queen, and then they're like trying to, you know, go on ahead and do the queen's bidding. And now your kid is covered in ants because the queen declared it. Doss declared it. And I gotta get a redneck man who kills bugs to transfer the ants over. Then he gets consumed by the ants, but he's still alive somehow. Yeah, what if that's a fear you had to worry about? Ant control. It is funny when you think about it, though. The ants think they can control us. Oh, but they don't realize that we're too high level and advanced. They don't realize that. And then they try to get me to come over there. I got my insect killer box to wipe out an entire colony. Oh yes, I would wipe out an entire colony. You know me and my want to wiping out an entire thing that pisses me off for some reason or another. What with the robots, Sonic Adventures 2, and those squirrels, and Tales of Berseria. And the baboon! Those annoying things, yeah. They would be trying to control the wrong person, to where now I know where your nest is, and now... time to die. You guys are dead now. It's time to go on an ant killing spree. There can only be one ant, and that is me. And then they all die. And I become king of the anthill. But it's literally is no more ants, so I'm a king of what's the word? King of a soldierless kingdom. Or populationless kingdom. Abandoned kingdom. Ghost kingdom. Ghost ants. Yep, sorry. Ghost ants. Needless to say, these ants would get myrtleized quickly. All I have to use is my thumb. Thumb or finger, don't matter really. They get murdered ain't the same anyways. Alright, let's see. So we are getting some progress and stuff done with for this month. It's good to do it all right here and right now, so that I can ensure that I get all the complex stuff done with. I'm hoping I can get a decent amount finished. There we go, finally, for the word out. Because if I can get a decent amount of this done with, going into, what do you call it? The next week and the week after that, where we get a huge head start, then I should, theoretically speaking, be able to do all the things that I need to do for the next month to come, and hopefully the next month after that to come. A lot of complex stuff that I gotta get done with. I still gotta try to get music finished for some things in Paint Maze. The main menu music, and also I did change up a little bit of the the main menu music, not start menu, because we haven't done that yet. That's what I meant to say beforehand. But yes, we do have that to do at some point. So I hope I can get enough time to finish this up, both story-wise and drawing-wise, and then we'll be good. Because if I could do that, then that means there's less that I have to worry about in the drawing department, which then allows me to be able to, what's the word? Just get the drawing finished, and we won't post it until the time comes, you know, that kind of deal. It is kind of what I'm trying to do, at the very least, because if I can do that, then I won't have to worry too much about taking up too much time trying to write like a story or a description. Although the things I gotta write stories and descriptions for aren't going to be that complex. Might be the hardcore mature drawing that'll be a little bit complex, but it's not that considered. Well, I do see your nails there. I just don't know if I'm going to really be able to fully showcase them, so I guess don't matter. Alright, now for Domador. I'd figure the best way to be able to give Domador some more screen time is to have an episode consisting mostly of him and another character. This time it's Gwyneth. And it makes sense. The episode's already out, so I can tell you the plot of what's going to occur in this episode. So they come across a town, which, by the way, I probably should update the thing. Yeah, I probably should remember to update the thing tonight. Where is it? Ah, here we are. I'll grab the JPEG instead. So they're leaving Faith Dawn Village. And I believe they're going to be moving over to this village right over here, where they're going to meet this guy right here, who is a man trying to figure out a way on how to marry his fiance for, like, you know, a fiance of a few years or so, or a year. I don't know the exact, what do you call it? We'll probably do a year. Knew her for like 5. Oh yeah, this is Guy, by the way. We're going the whole femboy route in this freaking episode. Why not? We got Domador over here. We might as well try to add more to our list. We don't have too much to add anyways. But yes, he's looking to marry his fiancée for love. Now, Genthru, you know, Genthru Pores, the armored guy, he is asexual. He doesn't really get love. He doesn't really understand it too much, so he doesn't have the same input that he could give to help this guy out. And Ariella is a sex maniac. So he's only out for lust, not love. So she doesn't understand it either. But Gwyneth and Domador do understand it. Domador might be hopelessly romantic and unable to really fully get his, get himself a girlfriend or whatever. But he does have a long line of women who are willing to come and do what they want to do with it. Sure, why not? And we got Gwyneth over here, who is also into the whole love deal. And also, if you've taken the clues, the very not-so-subtle clues in the first set of episodes, know that she's in love with Melina. At the end of the day, these two make the perfect sense to be able to help this guy out on his quest for love. And I'd say it's perfect. One, it gives Domador more screen time and we get him some more dialogue. And two, we can add in the bandits as the main threat here. At first I was thinking, maybe we can get some creatures and whatnot. But then I thought, you know what, no, actually, more bandits. Why not? We introduced the bandits in the 3rd episode and finished them off in the 4th episode. Despite the fact that they ran away with their tail between their legs. So we could just showcase the bandits some more, you know? I'd say why not? It gives us some more episodes to be able to do more with the bandits, at the very least, a little bit more. It's not like the bandits are going to get a whole bunch of episodes, though. I think from what I have figured out so far, counting the first 2 and this one, there's only 2 more episodes that I can think of that involves banditry. The bandits and whatnot. And the next 2 sets, the last 2 sets, will involve the bandit leader, which we will be able to see what he looks like. Won't be for a while now. If I remember correctly, it should be 15 and 16. Episode 15 and 16. Which is where he's going to be, shown. And we might even get him his name fully set up. I'm going to worry about the names later, because for right now I just want to focus on trying to draw the characters here. When it's time for me to make the story, I'll make names. These guys will still be referred to as Bandits 1 through 4. But this guy will have a name. Right now he's just called Bandit Second in Command. He will be given a name, though. Alright, let's see. What else? Yeah, just like how there's going to be at least a few more Dark Mage-based stuff. I don't want to go into too much spoiler territory, so I can just tell you when Dark Mage episodes are. We already have one in episode 7. Yeah, freaking... I don't know what the hell this is. I really don't know what the hell this is. Is that my uvula I'm feeling, or is it something else? Can't be. Not even elongated right now. Oh, well, say if it is an ant trying to crawl out, I'm trying to push you out so you can live. Or I can kill you as soon as you come out. It's like it's not being pushed out, and I don't get why. Of course, when I felt something there. But I guess it was nothing. I have no idea, and it's very annoying. I wish I had an aura that burned all insects to a crisp. I don't know what it is, but I got something. Oh, it's just a tonsil stone. Never mind. I shall go on ahead and toss that out later. I haven't got a trash bag in my trash can right now. Primarily because I took it out because it was full. Well, I got a small bit of tonsil stone out, so maybe that's what's stuck in my throat and making me want to throw up. How annoying. Make me think it's an ant, but it's actually just a tonsil stone. Nothing inconsequential. Ugh. And regardless, it's fine. Trying to burp, but my body won't let me burp. Oh, whatever. So, anywho's in which, as I was saying, the episodes involving the Dark Mages. For one, we have, of course, episode 7. You've seen that one already, unless you're not following these episodes one after another, you know. Yep, episode 7, which showcases the Dark Mage's first showing. Then, of course, you've got what will be episode 12, where more Dark Mages are going to be shown. And episode 13, the 2-episode arc. Give me like a 2-month hiatus before the next episode comes out, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. Then, I believe we might have one in episode 17 and episode 18. 19 and 20 are fillers. And then 21 through 24, the end of season 1. We'll basically go through pretty much the rest of the Dark Mage stuff. So I have an idea in mind. I think the only episode I don't fully know what I plan on doing with is episode 14, which is going to be more of a filler-esque kind of episode. I will say it is going to be interesting, because we're going through most of Pomander. Yes, indeed, it is going to be very interesting. I'm just not entirely too sure if I want the characters to move on over to a different continent, or do we want them to stay on the same continent? What the hell? I don't know what the hell I just saw. Or if I want them to stay on the same continent going into season 2. Hard to say, really. Hard to say indeed. It is a good idea to try to explore the rest of the continents instead of trying to just stay on Pomander for the entirety of the series run. So I feel as though we should probably do that at some point. I just don't know what yet, when yet, or how. Plus, I haven't really fully thought about what I plan on doing for season 2. I mean, I know a large majority of it is filler, right? Episodic. With some 2-episode arcs here and there, and maybe even a 4-episode arc for certain things. I guess technically the first 4 episodes, being the introduction arc, it is kind of, and a full-on arc. And now we're going to the 1-episode arcs here. Although, granted, it did have some rather distinguishing properties to them that made them feel like they were episodic. But they did kind of link together to create an arc plot that allowed for the entirety of this group to get together. Which is good. It's nice to start off with an origin instead of just going in and being like, hey, they're a group now. Origins is better. Because you're like, oh, so that's how they came together. Just by coincidence and happenstance. Or happen chance. Depends on what you prefer to say. I will say happen chance makes more sense, but happenstance sounds better for some reason. Weird language, is it not? Our own language. But yes, I have the idea for the plots going into season 2. Oh, right, this trap is over here. At the very least, the main plot. I know how I want that to go. I know how I want the entirety of that particular instance to go. I just don't know of the fillers yet. Well, episodes. Kind of like this one. But this episode does showcase the bandits a little bit more. I definitely do want to have a little bit more bandit stuff happening. Make sure that their threat's not forgotten. It's important, right? Make sure you don't forget about certain threats that do have some certain returning power. But more so than just the bandits and the dark mages, but there's other types of threats. Oh, and the creatures. Outside the bandits, dark mages, and creatures, there are other types of threats. That of which I don't know if we're going to get into this season. Maybe not. I mean, to say the least, there is that queen who was a little bit weird and eccentric in the Leviathan Kingdom that Ariella talked about in the last episode. But I feel like she's not really going to be something you would think is, oh, the big baddie of this particular little episode arc. I mean, she is for a certain reason, and I'm going to feel sorry for a certain character when that occurs. Nothing bad, it's just a lot of fan service, really. Just keep your minds open for when that occurs. But I feel like it's also going to kind of lead into the big baddie, or at least hinting towards the big baddie threat of Season 2. Not going to say too much about it, though. But there is going to be a massive threat that's going to occur in Season 2. One that will definitely change the world of Etheria. More than you would ever have imagined. You're going to be surprised to see what the aftermath of the end of Season 2 is going to be like. Ah, my neck. But yes, I can't wait for it. But I have to wait. I have to wait because I am still on Season 1. We're on Episode 8 at least, though. As you can see by this here, 5-8. We are making progress. Where was I? Ah, your hands. That's the good thing about where we're at right now. Progress is indeed being made. Just like how we're on Episode 9 of Nova Guardians right now. Soon to be going on to Episode 10. I think we're on Episode 9, right? It feels like we are on Episode 9, but it's hard to say. Well, regardless, we are making decent progress in getting these episodes done. Now that we're on the, I guess the second bout, the second part of the first season. If you want to separate it into parts, there are 4 parts, and each part is 6 episodes. And in between each part is a 2-month hiatus. The episodes don't have a set release date, but you know that one is released every month. Until the 6 episodes of the part is finished, and then a 2-month hiatus occurs. It's like a manga panel, except the only difference here is it's just simply drawing one cover and making an entire story out of it. Which is fine. It would take me ages if I were to go on ahead to try to make manga panels for this, and I don't even know how the hell this would work fully. There would be so much that I would have to do, and my art style doesn't exactly make it easier for me to get through panels like most people do. Plus, I imagine if you had more people working on it, then it would go by way quicker and way smoother. Which I do not have that luxury. Yet, at least. Although I did have the idea of doing some exclusive drawings, and then having them be placed within a book kind of deal. I think the idea would be we draw the entirety of the series, we make the entirety of the season, and then we have the chapters, i.e. episodes, be shown in the book. I don't know how many pages that would be, but it would probably be a thick book. Probably. With some images that are shown that shows you certain characters that, so you don't have to imagine what they look like. I think that would be the idea on how I would go about doing that. If I want to go more down the professional route, right? Cat. How'd you know I was talking about you, Shade? Cat. Yep, you respond to the wrong word, Shade. Okay, you did respond to that. Don't you worry at me. Light is flashing, and I don't know why. It is raining. Oh, the sun is out now, so maybe it stopped raining. There were rain and thunder. Alright, let's see. Yeah. What you yawning at? But I feel like that would be a good idea. And in the midst of that, we could probably do like very special class showcasing, as well as the world map of at least Season 1 at the end or something. I feel like that would be a good idea. Issue is, I don't think I'll be able to do that without, having to spend some time getting all of that finished. Also, how long have we been at this so far? Jesus, a half an hour, and we haven't even finished all the characters shading yet. We only got 2 finished. Oh well, what can you do? Anyways, yeah, I feel like that's a good idea. But I don't know the first thing to go about doing that. What you sniffing my hand for? You smell the dead ants? Are they still on there? Is there residue still on there? I don't get you, cat. Also, I don't get ants. Why do they have the same pheromone to showcase 3 completely different things? That's what I would like to know. So, apparently ants share the same pheromone when it comes to sex, death, or food. How the hell do they distinguish the 2? Who the hell knows? Or the 3s, I should say. So when they sense, certain scent, they sense their pheromone, they're like, ooh, it's sex time. Oh boy, smooching time. And then here comes a skeleton coming to hit their ass. But then again, it would still end up in the same scenario, at least to that meme video that I've seen. Oh, nice hat. Oh boy, smooching time. Ah! Or however hell his scream went, I don't know. So then they come over to this freaking ant over here, mangled corpse, and they're thinking, oh wait, it's not sex time, it's death time. Oh shit, I better go back and forth and be confused about what the hell I should do for this situation here, and then they die. And then more come up, and then they die, and it's just a never-ending cycle until an entire colony gets wiped out. Yep, that's what it is. And that's how it would be. I'd imagine if you were to go on ahead and get like a giant sticky strip or something, and sprinkle in a bunch of recently killed ant corpses. A bunch of ants will go over there, they'll be stuck, they'll keep on dying of whatever, and then an entire colony is dead. That would be an interesting test to perform. At the end of the day, the ants kind of just, slowly but surely kill off their entire colony because they keep thinking, oh, food, /sex, /potentially death. But it's a 2 in 3 chance of it being good. We have to take it. It's a terrible idea. They really should have evolved to release a different kind of hormone or pheromone to say, oh, there's death here. But no, they didn't. Matter of fact, they've made themselves a suicidal race by just going into an area that could have good things, but, you know, there's a small chance, or not small chance, it's a 1 in 3 chance of it being a bad thing. Not a good idea to have your entire, sensory department revolve around 3 different things, isn't it? But they somehow survived for this long. I'm trying to burp, but it won't let me. They somehow survived for this long. There we go. And they'll continue to survive until the entire colony gets wiped out and another colony takes place. It's funny to think about it, really. They are so persistent in their quest for food and sex that they were too distracted to separate death from all of that pheromone. Although I wonder if it's not entirely that, but like they release the pheromones by themselves manually to get like the thing out, but when they die, their pheromones get fully released, like how when a person dies, their bowels get thoroughly released. We're not so different, the ants and us. When we die, we release a scent of internal bowels. And I'm assuming that's what ant shit smells like. Or not, maybe they don't. Shut up. Although that would be a weird thing for the ants to contribute food and sex to if it's literally their shit. That is very weird if that is the case, so let's not say we did. Let's not let's not talk about that. Talk about something else, like, I don't know. I'm not entirely too sure. Insect bodies are completely different from human and animal bodies, so we can't exactly get a one-to-one representation and exactation of what it could be. Hell, for all I know, our pheromones are cologne or perfume. Or parfum. And yes, it's, of course, going to be completely different because we have a physical object that allows us to get that going, but the ants have their own objects that get that going. They're internal objects. Is it a good idea? Well, you'd have to ask an ant. I feel like they could change up their infrastructure or something to try to, like, make it so they don't excrete their pheromones upon death, and instead it excrete a different pheromone that makes it easier for ants to say, oh, this is the death pheromone. Well, we should leave this area as soon as possible, or send a soldier ant. And if that soldier ant dies, well, let's just mark that off as an area we don't want to go to. Unless the soldier ants are the ones that release the death pheromones, and if they smell a crap ton of dead soldier ants, they're like, okay, no, that is indeed the dead zone. If all of our soldiers died in that area, we will not go there. You would think that the ants would come and see a bunch of their friends' corpses lying around an area. They would be like, oh, this is not a good place to go in. Let's leave. Like, as soon as they pick up the pheromone, as soon as they see a bunch of dead ants crumpled up into balls and with missing limbs, potentially legs, you think at that point, yes, this area is full of death. There is no food here. The person who led us astray is probably already dead. So we shouldn't have to worry about it. Or they come to the base and they said, you fuck... Wait, but I need a... I got a Sharpie marker. You fucking bastard! You killed all of our men! That area had no food! It had only death! And then they just freaking beat the crap out of the ant because it just ended up with them losing a crap ton of their colony. I don't understand why they're constantly trying to go into the bathroom. Of all the places to go into, why the bathroom? It doesn't make any sense. Hydration? But it rained outside. Wouldn't it make more sense to go get the dew? I don't know. But these ants are fools for having their death and sex pheromones be the same thing. And food pheromones. I think, if I remember reading that correctly. I don't automatically know information about ants. I googled it, damn it. You think I'm going to remember any information about a thing that I don't really give a damn about? Although, yes, I guess it does help to know that killing more ants spawn more ants. When you kill an ant, another ant spawns nearby. That is truth. Accept that as truth. Aside of that, we had some snails in the bathroom. They're more welcome than the ants, though, because there's only one snail. I don't know if it's the same snail because, every now and again, I see a snail. I'm like, ooh, is that the same snail? Snail just like sliding around the bathroom walls and tubs for some reason. I'm not sure. It's just some random snails. The ants, on the other hand, are more of a nuisance. The snails, they're more welcomed for obvious reasons. They're not like that invasive. They're slow. They pretty much mind their own business. Yep, snail. I guess it's one of the few insects I wouldn't outright kill, except for this gnat over here, which I missed. Stupid gnats. These stupid gnats, I swear. The gnats, the ants, the flies, the spiders. Whoops. God damn it. I saw one gnat fly in front of my face, but I couldn't get to it because the stupid computer grabbed the, scroll bar down here instead. Anyways, yeah. Am I still... Well, I can't tell if you can tell it from this angle. And also, I feel like the light there kind of just changes this up a bit. But if I look red to you, that's because I've been to Six Flags since Saturday. Yes, I have. I was at Six Flags. And it was hot, then it was raining, then it was hot again. And now I have sunburn on my face. Not my arms or something, or if I have it, it's more like a perfect tan because of my hair getting in the way. So yes, it's still there, but it's not as bad as the camera makes it look. It's kind of like an orange-ish tan-like color instead of a red that it was first time. It's not even that bad. It's not like bad enough to peel. It's healing up quite effectively. So that's good. That's great. It's not like severe sunburn. It's just mild sunburn. A little bit. Not too much. It was basically just a company picnic kind of deal that we used to do every year before, the COVID showed up. And we did again this year. It was a shame that, there's a few things there that we did, but not a whole lot. The log flume was down and out, unfortunately, and it won't be up and running again until 2024 for some reason. Who knows why. But aside from that, we went on Nitros, me and my cousins. I didn't really like it too much. I like the speed, I just don't like the heights. It was terrible. And I got my back sore because of it, and my legs cramped. My legs were cramping on the entirety of that ride. It was terrible. I like the speed, but man, do I not like the heights. If only I could fly. Then at that point, you'd be like, it's fine, I've been higher than this before. I flew up into the stratosphere above the clouds. I don't gotta worry about that. I can fly because I have powers. Okay, I don't know if I think the idea was to have this one be darker. That would be the only way for me to be fine with roller coasters if I could fly. And that means that, I don't have to worry about that. I would have to worry about, but if I had the ability to essentially just, and fly out and then just, go under the roller coaster thing that flew off the, and pick it up. Be like, yep, I can do this, folks. Don't worry, we're fine. We won't die today with me on watch. And we gently put the roller coaster down, and that's it. We survive. See, that's another thing I don't really like. Rickety. And broken down roller coasters that break and fly across the area. Things work, but you think maybe this is the day where we die, because everything is just always against us somehow, in some way, shape, or form. But we didn't. We didn't. And my body sore because of it. Terrible. The only other things went on was the Young Justice thing, which I thought I was getting a good score, but for some reason I somehow couldn't. Which sucked. I was in the top 30%. Some kid got like 300,000. I guess I wasn't really... I was like spamming, like trying to do Jacob's trigger on a thing, but I don't know. I feel like my freaking laser wasn't going in the area you think. It was like, here's where you aim it, and here's where it went down. Here's where like the nozzle went out. It's like somebody didn't properly code in where the nozzle would come out. So I feel like 9 times out of 10, I wasn't fully getting shots off for some reason. It sucks. Because I feel like I could get a good score with my spamming technique. And also, my arms were sore as fuck from that coaster, so I couldn't spam as effectively. But it's fine. Because... What are you doing, cat? Stop it. Because I still got a decent score the first time I went on. I don't remember what it was, though, but I did get a decent score. Couldn't get it this time around, which sucks. Regardless of the fact, we did that and we went on the Raging Rapids. And that was pretty much it in the rides department. We had funnel cake. I think it was like chocolate... strawberry sundae funnel cake kind of deal. It was raining at the time, so shut up. It was raining at the time, so we had to eat inside with no chairs whatsoever. And there were tables out there, but I didn't want to risk getting my food wet. And there was no drinks either, which sucked. It sucked indefinitely. Regardless of the fact, we did what we needed to do, though, I guess. Food, thingy, and all that stuff. I just wish, it didn't downpour and it wasn't so goddamn hot. It was terrible with the heat. I'm surprised my freaking arms didn't get burned from it. Makes me wonder if I would have been fine if I had brought a sun hat. Because I wear jeans all the time, so I was into jeans, but mostly it was my face and torso. I was getting the heat. I wear jeans all the time. I sleep in jeans. I go in jeans. I've never swam in jeans, though. That was the time I went and did the thing which is wearing a swimsuit. That was for like the 4th of July party. Where my body got extremely sore because I spent like hours swimming. It also doesn't help that, with all the work and nonsense that we have to do, body gets getting more sore and sore. That probably contributed to it. 4th of July, swimming a bunch, followed by the stupid 9.5 work week. Shut up! I really wish this cat would just shut the hell up when she's in heat. I really do. It's unnecessary. It's not needed. Anyways, yes, body sore, aching all the time or whatever. 9.5 work day nonsense. They almost tried to get me in on Sunday, last Sunday, but a lot of people called out. And then I got a text from the bot saying, don't come in. Too many people called out, and we're only running one line, and we already got the person we need to run that one line. So we're golden, which is great. It just makes it so I don't have to worry about, work, and I can let my body rest and relax. My arms are still a tad bit sore. It's like this much compared to like this much as it was before. So now I'm slightly better. Same with my legs. Back's still a little sore. I think that's because it's still kind of being worked out due to me doing this stuff. Which is important. It is important that I get this done with. I want to try to work towards getting these series finished at the pace of which I'm going, of course. And maybe one day I'll be able to make a full-on book of it, novel book, with colors, hopefully. I wonder how expensive that would be. Images and whatnot, it shouldn't be expensive, right? Hopefully. I would have to do like a check and see like how much I would need to like do, how much I would have to. That would suck because I wouldn't be able to sell it for a profit if it's expensive to make. I'm not sure exactly. And it's for a niche audience on DeviantArt. Not a lot of people are going to see it. Unless I can advertise a book. But I don't know if you can or if that's even a thing. I feel like most of the stuff nowadays is just internet, ebooks and whatnot. Although I do like the idea of having a physical copy that people can buy and, collect and whatnot. And also the physical copy has like unique images, that of which are only found in the book. I don't think I would ever like fully publish them on DeviantArt or whatnot, primarily because it'd be a lot of singular images and it would kind of not really gel well with what I got going in DeviantArt. Wait a minute. So how big is it right here? We need to move down a bit more. Because it doesn't exactly matter where this goes, as long as it goes somewhere. And it doesn't matter how this goes. What are you doing? No, you fool. Go to the hand. I don't even know what the hell you were doing there. The idea is there. I just need to get to a certain point where I can fully start doing the things that I need to do in order to sell it. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Right, hold on. What the hell? Well, somebody just popped something. I don't know what. Something outside popped. A little bit higher. There we go. Perfect. Great. Fantastic. Alright, good. And the cat's looking out the window. Distracted by something. Something popped and the cat noticed. Now we got this box over here, which should be pretty simple enough, really. Make this one darker, make this one lighter. Hope that this isn't getting too in the way of all the things here that we gotta do. A light, darker box here, but lighter over here. And we're going to go on ahead and get this over here done with. Well, there is also the inside of the shirt. Can't forget about that. I'm not sure of what kind of fashion clothing we could have in this particular universe that would make sense with the fantasy aspect. We got something going on here with robes and these suits and vests and whatnot, as well as those who are outlandish and wearing bandit attire. There we are. Wait, did I do that? I might have, I just didn't do it for the rest of it. Or is that the bottom area and not what I think it is? Oh well, don't matter. Think I got everything? Well, I could probably try to make this seem like it's a bit more connected as opposed to disconnected, you know? That should be good. And that should be good too. Uh-oh. Why are you taking so long to save something so simplistic? It's not even that big in the pixels department. Alright, here we go with these bandit guys. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Alright, so, whoa. I don't know if you could tell, but this guy has diamond eyes. You can see by the way that shaped is. Am I going to remember to do that? Probably not. But it's fine. So we got this guy here who is the second in command bandit guy. We don't want to bring in the bandit leader just yet fully. We already had him showing in one department. And he didn't do good with Gwyneth's fiery passion. So, I feel like having this guy here would work perfectly in trying to, you know, give you at least a different sense of a threat. Like, these guys are getting a tiny bit stronger after getting their asses handed to them twice, and now they're going to be a little bit more annoying, with this guy being the main guy who's going to contribute to that annoyance. Roaming band of bandits looking to cause trouble for royals and to get a quick payday, basically. All things considered, I'd say these fools over here are gonna get more than what they bargained for. Not to say that these two are gonna have an easier time beating them. It's just they're still gonna beat them, obviously, in the end of it all. But we're gonna try to make it a little bit more challenging this time around. They already lost one battle, but now they have to win another, but not like 100% stomp, but a little bit of struggle. Provided I do that properly, and provided that works here. They'll still be able to beat the other bandit guys, obviously, because they are fodder enemies. But this guy will be a bit more of a challenge. You see somebody utilizing a weapon. This is a club. Or mace. I think I've drawn maces before, right? Mace, club weapons. I would have to look that up, actually. I'm going to quickly do that real quick. Don't worry, I'm going to try to be fast about this. Oh my god, what is this lag in the mouse? Elementals Reborn, go over to... Oh, World of Ethereum. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust something real quick. You should be here. You should be here. Done. Did you move everything where it needs to be? Good. Great. I'm just going to go over to the equipment overview real quick and just see if I added in maces. Or clubs or whatever. Yeah, equipment overview. Let's see. Yep, clubs and hammers. So this is a club that this guy is using. A big club, too. So you can see that the weaponry still is kind of doing their thing. Big club, long neck, lengthy, skinny body, with muscular abs and whatnot. We definitely got ourselves an intimidating-looking bandit guy. And, of course, I think every bandit-related thing probably is going to relate towards Damadora. In some way, shape, or form. Why exactly? Well, I figured it would be a good idea to have anything bandit-related for, at least Damadora and his family. And it makes sense when you think about it. The characters have their own, fight and brawl and whatnot that they can, get into with certain things and whatnot. Granted, we haven't really had any thought for like certain characters and whatnot. I guess it doesn't have to like be specific towards, one character and only one. Because everybody has to deal with the dark mages. Then the creatures, everybody's got to deal with them too. We don't exactly have anything for Ganthru, Ariella, or Gwyneth in the Fine Light department, but that's fine. But that's primarily because of the fact that I only had the bandit thoughts to put Domadora and his family to fight against them. Just to give Domadora some more screen time, and a reason for him to have more screen time. It's not to say that the characters can't have like solo fights with certain groups. And you'll see what I mean when I mean solo, not like alone, but like with something else, someone else helping out, kind of. It is a set that I want to try to keep consistent. And, of course, I do want to have more screen time with Domadora, since a lot of this series so far mostly has Gwyneth and Ariella speaking, and Ganthru. Domadora hasn't been getting too much screen time, so I feel like now's a good point to get him more screen time. Which is a shame, because he's a cool character. I want to try to get him some more screen time, and this is the first plan. To do so like this. We have to give him a reason to be on the team. We can't just replicate what we have with Nova Guardian. With Yashashi, it makes sense because she's more introverted and shy and doesn't talk that much. But with Domadora, he's more extroverted and a little bit more, what's the word? Outgoing? Friendly? Willing to speak with everybody? Isn't like inherently negative, despite what happened in the 7th episode where he looked like he was in pain and barely able to smile. But yes, all in all, I must say that Domadora is a little bit more friendly. Only if you're good, and not like trying to actively cause problems and harms, and troubles, and whatnot. It's a simple concept, really. But I need to get more screen time with Domadora. I do have one idea in mind to get Domadora some even more screen time. One idea in mind. I won't say it, though. I'll leave it up for guesswork or whatnot. But at the end of the day, my plan is to try to give every character their time in the spotlight. And so far, Domadora hasn't been getting that much time in the spotlight. Of course, that doesn't mean he's going to get a bunch of episodes relating to him now. We kind of had, our first little taste in episode 6. Where we saw Domadora split up with Ariella and Ganthru staying with Gwyneth to set up a trap. That's in episode 6, of course. And in episode 7, mostly, Gwyneth and Ariella talked. With some roles from Ganthru. Small roles from Domadora. And now we have Gwyneth and Domadora. I guess technically speaking, 6th episode consists mostly of Gwyneth and Ariella. If the cover art is anything to go by. Then, of course, there was the 5th episode, which was a mixture. Mostly showcase, Ganthru and the Queen, and Ariella and Maria. So yeah. Or Gwyneth area, not Ariella. Although Ariella did talk there. Just mostly Gwyneth. And that's when we left Melina off. Which I say is a good idea. 5 is a crowd. This one I heard thunder. Anyways. Given what we have so far. Bandits, dark mages, creatures. We got a decent amount of world building up. I'm liking it. Even the map. Like, that one thing I can say that sets Elementals Reborn apart from all the other series is its map. And it's a map that changes depending on where we're at in the episode and whether or not, you know, we went to a new place for the map to change. It's a nice feeling, I must say. Makes me wonder if I should get a map set up for, like, Chrome Wars, at least. When the time comes for me to draw that. Chrome Wars is different. We don't have a whole lot of story-based telling elements in here outside of, like, mechs, faction bases, guns, and some important people. So we're not, like, fully ingrained in the whole world building of that outside of what we have currently. Which is fine. Elementals Reborn had, like, some world building stuff before we fully started making its series. And Chrome Wars had at least mech building, base building, and it does have a map, albeit not as useful as the map that we have currently with Elementals Reborn. So if I were to make a map of Chrome Wars, I would have to do something to essentially allow for us to easily place all the base points in the maps and whatnot. I'd have to make, like, custom icons to place around the area. I will say, once we get to the point where Nova Guardians ends, I will probably try to work on getting a map made for Chrome Wars somehow. Don't ask me how long that's going to take. I'm hoping I can get it done with quickly. I'm more so worried about what I have planned for this one particular drawing that won't come out until 2025 March. That's the one I'm worried about. And so far we're not making any progress in getting out of this goddamn place with my creations. So, it's going to be a little worrisome trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to get that done and over with. Let's just say there's a lot of characters that I'm going to have to draw. Way too many characters. I'm not sure how the hell I'm going to do it. But I've done it before. I could do it again. But this time without, like, several weeks worth of time because of the whole no pay COVID vacation thingy that they had. Not vacation. That was the only way I was able to get that done within a reasonable time frame. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad that I at least have that drawing in my repertoire to showcase a lot of my characters. It's a shame I couldn't get it, you know, made with Nova Guardians in mind, or even Heavenly Deadland, but these are series that came after that. Well, technically Nova Guardians came before that. It just didn't fully get done with and over with. Oh, it looks like I'm having pizza tonight, no dinner. Yep, I mean, maybe I can cook myself up a chicken cutlet instead since I'm on vacation. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. For now, I'm just going to focus on trying to get this done with as best as I can. It's fine, I had cereal not too long ago. Well, technically around like 3:30 or so. No clue. Anyways, I'm starting on bandit number 2 and not 1. Yes, sirree. Some of the bandits have masks, some don't. It's not for hiding their identity. It's more for a fashion statement. They think they look cool with the mask on. I mean, like bandits just walking around the city, escaping, trying to, not get caught by the enforcers who do a terrible job at keeping that city safe. But now we're not in the town of creation. No, we're in a different town. I don't know what this town will be called. I'll have to come up with a name for it that makes sense. I can't just do some random ass name that doesn't make any sense for a town like this. Pinequill made sense because it's in a forest of pines and whatnot. And then there was these porcupine creatures with toxic poison and whatnot. And Faith Dawn makes sense because maybe that's like the first church of the goddess Hestrena. Which would make sense. Needless to say, I gotta come up with a good name for this here village. I just don't know yet. It will be out already, so if you're thinking, oh, I can come up with a good name, don't worry about it. This episode comes out as soon as the 8th episode comes out. Which means that the village name will already be made and done with. It'll be made after I've recorded it. So I know what the village name is going to be, just current me doesn't know. Or this being past me doesn't know. But future me will, or current me. Depends on what you want to think. It all really depends. Alright, most of these guys should be easy because most of their bodies is hidden by the other bandits. Part of me was thinking about having them be like back to back, kind of. Like one here, one there, but I decided this would be a better way to go about showing it, because then we can have that going like that, and we can showcase more of the area behind them and whatnot. Probably have like some kind of board there or something, jewelry board or whatnot. Gwyneth and Dumbledore are just trying to help this guy out and finding a good gift for his fiancée before he proposes. And at the end of the day, they beat some bandits, and their mission's completed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indubitably. So, all in all, it's a nice little episodic filler episode that shows us a little bit more with the bandits. I mean, when you think about a series like Cowboy Bebop, do you think about filler, or do you think episodic, with some main story plot lines to it? I feel like Cowboy Bebop would be the perfect kind of series if they were to ever make a season 2, where it's just, the crew going on bounty hunting missions, and they just, do some things. Like slice of life, action, bounty hunting kind of deal. They could do that if they were to ever make a second season. Whoops. I'm sure they can come up with more concepts. Because I already have a decent amount of concepts in there, but I'm sure... Like, I guess if I were to ever make a series in a similar vein of that, which I kind of thinking of doing that with Roscoe Morgan once we're done with at least the first season of Elementals Reborn. I'd say if I were to ever create like another season of it, I would have to be able to figure out, what kind of episodic episodes could I have here, where it's no consequential like main storyline. It's just, Roscoe Morgan on missions or bounties and just chaos, franticness, and hilarity ensues and whatnot. That's the idea. Kind of like how I probably am not going to make a second season of Adventurous Army. Like, Adventurous Army is getting good now because I'm not gonna. Goddamn, go to the shirt. I'm not gonna do too much spoilers, but there's a very interesting creature that showed up in the recent episode. $10 if you want to see it and all the other episodes. Or you can wait until the entire series is done and then spend $10 to read and look at the images, 24 images worth, of the entire series. But still, $10 now would be very helpful and beneficial for me to, continue Subscribe Star. Even though I'm going to continue anyways, it's just, support. Why wouldn't you want to support me in my endeavors? But yes, we're getting to the interesting part now. We're about to enter the final arc of Adventurous Army, and I am excited for it. 6 episodes of this final arc. Okay, I think that guy is done. Can't wait. And then once Adventurous Army finishes off, there's another series that I have in mind that will replace it, but this time it'll be posted at the end of the month instead of the beginning. Gonna be honest with you, having it posted at the beginning of the month was kind of detrimental in getting the, that filled up and done with. Does that mean I had to wait for Adventurous Army to finish off its first episode? Or its episode of the month, before I can do the next one? Thankfully, though, we posted it on the 17th, which is still pretty goddamn high. But it's better than close to the end. Well, it's still kind of close to the end. I mean, this is the last 2 full weeks that we have left until, the end of the month, which is going to be 2 days going into August. With 5 days filling up August. No, go to 1B, you fool. To say the least, I mean, yeah, I could probably get it done with. The idea that I have in mind is a little bit more of a complex one and will require a little bit more time. Like, I've no doubt I can get this episode done and posted today, and even have enough time to work on Game Crafters tonight. Like, I don't think there's too much left that we have to do. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm probably going to make my dinner. Figure out what I want to make at least. Whether it be pizza or chicken cutlets. We'll see. Then I'm going to eat it, watch my show, get the background done with, and then we'll try to get this done with quickly. And depending on what time it is, I might potentially just record an episode of Game Crafters immediately afterwards. I'll have this thing upload and at least get it to the processing point and saved in draft mode before I do anything with it. To which then, once that occurs, we do the thing that we need to do with Game Crafters, which is, I do want to make it longer, because I'm going to be making levels and the mini-map. And I want to ensure that I get that done with. As soon as I get that done with, I'll try to work on getting Elementals Reborn story posted and finished. And then after that's happened and done with, going into a Wednesday, work on Heavenly Deadland. Should hopefully be able to get that done with pretty quickly. Thursday, I might try to get Hardcore Mature Drawing done with and hold off from posting that until Saturday, and then I'll work on the landscape and scenery drawing, which is going to be most likely Pine Quill Village, a scene, so I don't have to worry about writing too much in the description department on Sunday. And then after that, of course, after that there is pens. I don't think that's going to take too long. We could get it done with pretty quickly on Thursday and get that landscape and scenery drawing done with on Thursday or Friday. Post that on a Sunday. We'll have time to get Tales of Berseria recorded. Sonic Adventures 2, hell, maybe even played up because we're done with the. If you have noticed, in the next episode, we're done with the overtime run. Not because we failed, because I just couldn't take it anymore and I stopped once we completed overtime 50. Like, we could have kept going, but I really just didn't feel like it. At that point, there's nothing more we could have upgraded. The only other automation we could have gotten would have required us to get a crap ton of things from the blueprint cabinet to try to, like, set all of it up. And it all would have been just carrot soup automation. The only soup that we would have been able to have automated. I'd say the automation levels that we had right then and there was fine. I don't need to have to go into an entire next set of episodes just to try to get that done with. Despite we were going in 3 groups, and when we went on 4, we did get a side order that got us only 3, which is helpful. I'd say we probably could have gotten even more. Like, we could have probably gotten something that reduced the order amount of customers to, like, 2 groups or something. And then 3 is, like, the highest one, but we can handle 3. It was insane. We found our groove, but I really couldn't continue any further. I really couldn't. It just got to a point where it was just way too much for me to want to continue. And the only other automation I would have been able to gotten, like I said, wouldn't really have mattered anyways in the end. So I'd say where we stopped was good. We completed a milestone of getting to overtime 50. We still got to do overtime 100 somehow without turning it into a flower shop. I do believe it's possible. I just need to get a very large restaurant and have way more space for automation. And also keep it so that the amount of customers we get aren't going to continue to rise up and up. What we had was pretty easy because technically speaking, it was like 10 to 11. So it was like 30 to 33. If you were to take that, that would be like 15 customers you'd have to serve, but in bulks of 10 to 11. I'm a little annoyed it didn't give me the thing that it decreases my group size, because that would have been very helpful. But it's fine. Hey, I somehow managed to do the entirety of 10 to 11, despite thinking, oh, there's no way I'd be able to do that. What are you doing? Stop scratching that. Stop scratching that. Don't give me that look, cat. You gotta stop scratching shit. You're making a mess. You need to make, like, metal boxes or something so that you don't continue to try to scratch it. I get that that's kind of like your new scratching post now, except it's not. Don't you worry at me. Hey? No, she's just walking on it. Nope, she's scratching it even further. What? Stop scratching it. You don't need to keep making more of a mess. Anyways, yeah. That's probably what I'm going to do with the coffee run. Before the coffee run fully dissipates at the end of this month, because we are, I mean, it's not like it's going to fully disappear, because we do have a restaurant saved with it with one overtime. Stop it. We do have a restaurant saved with 1 day into it just to see what it was like. I'm just glad I can do that now. I feel like if we go about doing that in overtime department, I think we should be able to unlock stir fry. We were so close to unlocking it too. Which sucks, man. We were like this close or something. Yeah, I could probably like remove that stake room that I have, but I don't know if I want to. Shut up. I don't know if I want to. It's a run. I mean, if I'm going into the franchising section, because I want to try to also get the tier 15 in franchising, which would basically just be, well, keep going until we get good cards, try to swap cards out, see how far we can go into that run. Shut up. Stop meowing out the window. There's no cats out there. Only dogs. 2 dogs, for instance. They're probably not even out there right now. Man, that window's a mistake. Did I get the nails? I don't think I did. I'm going to do the nails again, just in case. So, yeah. Trying to just figure out how I'm planning on doing these things. Shut up! Oh, you were at me. I got you. Whoa. Why are you rotating, cat? I got you now. What you doing? Why are you meowing out the window? Why are you squirming every time I'm trying to hold you? And now you're more docile because you're in heat. Don't give me that look. Look at that face. Look at that face right there. Alright. Don't worry at me. I'll worry at you instead. Alright, let's see. Am I missing anything on this guy? I don't know if I'm missing the nails, but I'll try to get the nails done with. And the eyes. Of course I was missing the eyes. Man, it's insane to do so many stories back to back at once. First it was Pito's Fetish, even though that really wasn't, like, in the same caliber of the other stories that we've got. Then we've got Adventurous Ami, we got Elementals Reborn, and we got Heavenly Deadland. And after that, we got Hardcore Mature Drawing with a story. And after that, we've got Landscape and Scenery Drawing with a scene from Elementals Reborn. No story needed, because the story's already been told. Then, of course, we have another story. And then Reginald's Mockerbreak Cases. I don't know. I think I was thinking about doing that at some point. No, it was definitely not that. Yeah, because I did the animals drawing because I didn't have enough time to get, Luna v Titan drawn and finished for the week. And I'm glad I did, because as soon as I was able to get Pito's Fetish finished and get Adventurous Ami finished, I would be able to post it on a Monday. I kind of wanted to post it earlier than that, but then I went into Played Up instead, and now we're like playing the try to go catch up with the things that we got to catch up with. Because technically, we got to get 3 drawings done with it this week if we want to stick with the 10 drawing limits per month. Excluding, of course, the hardcore mature drawings, that would make it 12 drawings, but in terms of DeviantArt, it's 10. Which means I gotta essentially get like 2 to 3 drawings done with a week. It depends, really. I guess, technically speaking, because we got Adventurous Ami finished this week, that makes this a 4-episode week, or 4-episode, a 4-drawing week, but also because we're going to be working on the next hardcore mature drawing after Heavenly Deadland, that would make it a 5-drawing week, followed by Landscape and Scenery, which would make it a 6-drawing week if it wasn't being posted on a Sunday. Oh, wait, I forgot about the lines on here, of course. How could I forget? That's fine. I'll go on ahead, go to here, do the things I need to do. Lines. There we are. I grab all of them. Are you kidding me? Alright. And I'll do the same thing with yours. That's not what I want. I want lines, you fool. Ah, good. You at least combined. Yes, sirree. Alright, back to it, I guess. We're almost done with the shading, at least. Then there's the texturing. Which theoretically shouldn't take too long. If all goes well. Damn, I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough time to work on the music for Paint Maze. Because I want to get a lot of this stuff done with, so I don't have to worry about catching up with a whole bunch of things. August is still going to be pretty tricky and complex. We got another episode of Elementals Reborn, which I think is going to showcase maybe Gwyneth and Ariella with Gwyneth's cousin, Alistair. I think his name was Alistair. The plasma guy from the magic overview, which I could probably show it if I have it. No, wrong album, 43. Might be close to here, 44. Ah, here it is. This guy, right here. Gonna show him with his eyes and his goggles up top. Gonna be interesting. I might reduce his design a tad bit, though, so it's less complex, even though I don't think I'm gonna draw him that much. Yeah, for the most part, the main character of this series is Gwyneth. Which I say kind of works perfectly. Gwyneth being like a very particular type of character, whom of which it was, is, you know, I wouldn't say typical shonen. It's hard to say really what kind of character she is, because she does have like, not the burn, I wanted the dodge. She does have like, you know, a very interesting set of being bi, which most anime characters don't seem to have. Well, Naruto is a bit more confusing to think about, considering the things that occur there. There's a lot of tension with that. Regardless of the fact, optimistic, powerful, friendly, strong, slight temper. Depends, like a mixture of multiple things. I'm not really following any kind of, what do you call it, tropes. I'm just doing my own thing. Same thing, oh, and Lustful Horrors, right. Well, Lustful Horrors shouldn't be too bad, because I'm drawing one character in it with a bunch of monsters, or something else. If you know what I mean. But yeah, there's a lot that I gotta do going into August. A lot of big ones. I got this one poster drawing for a series that's going to start in October. It's going to go even further beyond that, but yeah, it's tricky. Then, of course, for a second there, if I was on highlights. No, this is midtones. Your skin's just a bit more paler than most. There is this one drawing with Agent Kayla from this mature drawing that I did. That shouldn't be too complex. But there's Nova Guardians. And if you know Nova Guardians, you know it takes a while to write up an episode. It does. And it takes a while to draw an entire scene, too, because there's so many characters that we gotta draw. I'll tell you this much, though, for a fact, at least. The next episode will involve Susan's group. Introducing another cast of characters. Wait a minute. You are not right. You need to be... I don't even think I shaded you in. And there we go. But yeah, aside from that, there's Lustful Horrors, which will take a tad bit longer to get done with, but maybe not that long. I mean, it is a 22-minute read and imagine series. Those usually take at least a few hours to write. Could take an entire day when I get home to write up. Which is why I'm trying to get a bunch of them done with for this month in this vacation week. Because if I don't, I'm just going to end up not being able to get any of it done with, and I'm going to be saddened. And I don't want that. No, I do not. The opposite of what I want. I want to be able to do this at the best of my abilities without having to worry about time constraints. Am I getting the wrong teeth in? No, that's the right teeth. Just a shame I couldn't get a longer vacation. But what else would I do if I had a longer vacation? Get even more things done and drawn? Technically, yeah. But it would feel like a waste if I didn't at least get some things finished and posted. So having it spread out is a better idea. Look, I'm trying to make up for what I did for that one vacation week where I literally didn't do as much drawing as I wanted to do. Which angers me. Because I really wanted to get a head start, but I didn't. I just played games. I don't even remember what game I played. I think it might have been Raft. And I stopped playing it after I got to the last island. Because I need to get stuff done with. Besides, if I were to play it, it's going to be a series on the channel. I feel like it would be a good replacement, or not replacement, but a temporary, replacement while Minecraft and Terraria would be on hiatus. Of course, this has to occur after the next seasons. So once Tales of Asaria ends, Minecraft Season 6 comes out, or starts coming out, and Terraria Season 2 starts coming out. And Season 3 is going to be when we start going into hard mode. But Season 2 right now is basically just us building all the things we need to do, colonizing the surface, building a crap ton of elevators, building a subway, finishing off some towns that we can finish off at this point. There's a lot that I want to do. First of all, I got to finish off my my castle base. That's important. The castle base is important. Get that finished, get a dome around it, get it completely done, and then bing, bam, boom, we got our hands on a domed area where nothing can spawn around us. Which is important, because we are having a safe place where no mobs can get inside of our house. It is very good to have. Anyways, yeah, I'm not sure what else, in all honesty. I was basically just trying to colonize the surface, get the Crimson area cleared out, do all the things that we need to do to constrain it to one area, and try to build our own little Crimson spot. At least after I've cleared the Crimson out, then we can refill the area with Crimson as soon as we've gotten a separation area finished. I think at that point we'd probably have to clear out the Crimson, then work straight on the subway and getting all of the world separation set. No, there goes those dogs. The world separation is kind of important for a few obvious reasons. It makes it so that, Hollow or Crimson or Corruption, when I put the Corruption in the world at least, can't just simply pass over into our little area. So any area we don't want to get corrupted or crimsoned or hollowed will be separated by this block. and the tunnel that goes down into the subway tunnel. Essentially, it's like, here's an area, subway tunnel, elevator, or not, well, elevator, at least thick tunnels that goes down, and then a elevator down beneath that. So the subway entrance tunnels found throughout the world will then go on ahead and spread throughout all of the underground section, allowing us to essentially, what's the word? Lock out the spreading biomes so they cannot just spread into every single asset or facet of the world. That's my plan, at least. It would also help to allow us to explore a little bit more of our cave system, getting all of that kind of uncovered, not fully, but, you know. Another thing I would like to do, though, is get my hands on a Plant Terra fighting ring. Basically just a giant ring covered with walls, all the walls, and I just gotta basically run from Plant Terra and destroy it. So it's assuming I can get to it, because trying to kill the Destroyer and the Twins in Master Mode sucked arse. I did it in Classic Mode once, so maybe I can do it in this mode if I min-max Duke Nukem. It will be difficult, but I think the Destroyer should be the easiest one for us to deal with. Aside from that, though, however, we do have to make sure that we get the Eternia Goblin stuff finished. Those are important, because if I don't, then I won't be able to partake in the first wave events. So I'd say after we've gotten, like, the tavern built for the, you know, the innkeeper and the party girl, which is where the hollow is going to be, we theoretically should be able to build a giant Eternia fighting arena and go a few rounds with that. I'd say that's a fun thing to do. It's also something we can do to, like, prepare for that particular event. I'm not sure what else there is that I could possibly do there. I'm fully expecting for Season 3 to be a pain in the ass, though. Trying to go into hard mode and master mode sucked. And I'm going to do something to make it slightly less tedious. But we'll talk about that at some other point. Among the things that I want to do, I want to build a nice gemcorn farm above our little underground village. I want to build out the Aether biome by getting a bunch of marble, smooth marble, of course, and placing it all over the place. Around it, closing it off, preventing any and all sorts of mob spawns in there, so that we can go in with ease, safe as all possible hell, in order for us to do any kind of, like, decrafting or special crafting or whatever. It doesn't exactly matter. And I want to expand upon the silk farm by building it into an actual maze-like thing, which you can do, I believe, by making some Echo Mist crafting and then throwing it into the Aether liquid, or whatever the hell it's called, the rainbow liquid, in order to turn it into infested walls. Doing so will allow us to expand upon that. I would like to do that before we go into hard mode, because if I remember correctly, the Black Widows that spawn there are not good. And we also don't have banners that prevent spiders from doing a lot of damage, and as well as allowing us to deal a lot of damage to spiders. Reverse damage effect. Of course, I would have to start killing a bunch of Black Widows in order to get their banners to make them less of a pain to deal with if I ever want to, farm up. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot your... How could I forget this? It's fine. I will say the pirates and the Martians are probably going to be the most annoying until I can kill enough of them to get their banners. Oh, wow, this is so small that I have to go to 0. It's fine. Works just fine for me. Yeah, that will suck. I don't know how the hell we're going to do that. We're almost done here. Why didn't I just finish off this one last leg and then go to the hand? I could have almost forgotten about that leg, but I didn't, thankfully. Alright, I think that might be all. If anything, I could probably try to do more with your hair so it doesn't look as plain as it does. Not too dark now, but not too light either. Might be a bit too much, but we'll see. Alright, let's see here. Is that everything? In the shading department, and we've been at this for almost 2 freaking hours. It's fine, though. It's fine. The texturing department doesn't take that long. I say, as it's probably going to take us like an hour. Well, who knows? I do also have their images up here, so I can bring that up in case I need to do that. The hell? No clue what that was. Maybe a fuzz. Did that rhyme? Damn it. Don't know. Care. Get out of my hair. Alright, let me see. Was this? Yeah, that was. This is the cloth. The yellow bits is cloth. It's not actual gold trimmings, although it might look like it. This is the one that's gold trimmings, though. I think this could probably, the flower here, could probably go for both. Yeah, it looks like this is that. Oh, yeah. Have you heard of that weird game with AI talking and trying to solve a murder thing? I watched Charlie play it, Moist Critical. And man, oh man, was it just frustrating to hear these freaking AI talk and try to do something reasonable, but they're not reasonable. Oh my god, I hope somebody out there draw that freaking Miss Potter chick and her annoying voice getting her patas dude, if you know what I mean, without having to like go into full-on words. I would do it if I only had the time and space. Probably not even saying the right word, but you know what I mean. Gravity connectors. Sure, let's go with that. Okay, that's all cloth. Ugh. My god, was it frustrating. Although I will say that sexy bar guy, or whatever the hell his stupid name was, literally did just roast Charlie to the utmost highest form of roast. Oh, that was hilarious. But man, were there so many annoying AI there. Like that one guy who tries to act like a fucking Redditor. This one's calling me a Redditor. It's literally the entirety of that freaking game is like, that's an interesting source, detective. Why don't you back it up with, or what do you call it? What was it? Hold on, I gotta just look it up if I want to get this right. Ah, that's an interesting argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up. Literally all that was is just him making up the freaking stuff. I don't know if that game is beatable. I hope somebody does try to beat it. It does make me wonder if it's randomly generated. So if, you would think it would be since it's AI. But I'd imagine if somebody just went out of their way to go through all the permeated options. What do you mean? Okay, because what was it again? The exponent thing, the collapse thing. It was like, if there's 3 numbers, do 3, 3, 3, was it? No, it was 3, 2, 1. 3 times 2 times 1. Like, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If I remember correct, which sucks that my brain is trying to forget it, because it's very useful if I want to try to figure out, like, what are the amount of options and whatnot. So if you have, like, a 3-digit code or something, and it's only 3 numbers, but you don't know what direction it is, all you gotta do is do your 3, 2, 1 deal. 3 numbers, 3, 2, 1, boom. Doesn't even exactly matter like what number you choose. If it's only those 3 numbers, that's what it is. So 3 times 2 is 6. And you don't do the times 1 because it's pointless. So maybe just don't even... Why is it 4, 3, 2, 1 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Why not just 5, 4, 3, 2? No 1s is needed because all it's just doing is multiplying it by 1, which is just going to be giving you the same answer. Unless there's some answer out there that when you multiply it by 1, its change is completely different from the answer you would have gotten on the normal spectrum. I don't know. Hard to say, really. But if you got 3 numbers, but you don't know what order they go in, then literally there's only 6 options you can go for. I guess I could use, for instance, let's see here. 732. Sure, the usual phone number thingy that you see. So there are 732, 723, 327, 372, 273, and 237. There's nothing else more you can do with that. So if you see like numbers with, an exclamation point at the end of it, which I might have learned, but I have forgotten because, again, I can't access the entirety of my memory banks. There's this one game that I made called Puzzle Madness, which I might change the name of if I were to ever recreate it, that it literally, I am barely able to remember most of it. But the zones I can remember some of. The bosses I can remember some of, but not all of them. Yeah, it's just like very selective memory. Regardless, if you're ever trying to figure out like the permutation of how many digits you can go through, and how many times you can exhaust the amount of digits you can go through, well, let's just say it's not going to be that easy. So let me see here for a second. Phone number count-wise is 10 digits. 10. So if we were to go by that, so 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1, it doesn't matter. That's 3,628,800 different permutations of phone numbers. That's a lot. And even if it's just like 732 or 609 or whatever other numbers there are, that's just like taking it from 10 to 7, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really do much of a difference because that's just 5,040 phone numbers. Right, you got to have like a decent amount of phone numbers and whatnot throughout the course. So that's not a lot of compared to the amount of people on Earth, and depending on how many people actually have phones, it's not a lot. Makes you wonder how that works. Maybe that's just the American phone number system, and like the phone number system is completely different in another country. Well, I will say one thing for a fact, though, is that if somebody's phone number digit is like... Well, actually, I could just look this up. Who has the highest phone number digits? Or whatever the hell it is. Germany has the world's largest phone numbers and can have up to 14 digits after country code? Wait, 16-digit phone numbers? Jesus Christ. But it makes sense if our population is growing. It does make sense. Well, regardless of the fact, it's a lot of permeations. Let me go over down the door real quick, even though I'm pretty sure I know which is drapes and which is, what do you call it, cloth, and which is lines. I don't know if I did this, but I'm doing it again. I think I got everything here. The only other thing I could do that's not cloth-wise is this. Now go to 10. So, yeah, there's a lot of digits and whatnot. And I guess, technically speaking, that is a good question, because you got like 9 digits amongst 3 different setups. That is a good question. How many is that? Well, that's interesting to say the least. How would you do the math for that? Is it the same? It can't just be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Could it be? Now we're going to try to figure this out, just you and me, while I just do the whole texturing process here. Okay, so let's see. 3-digit number, which is just 3 digits, but you have like 3 slots, each with a potential of 10 numbers. What math would you have to perform to be able to figure out how many permeations there are in a 3-digit lottery system? Well, you can't just do 3, 2, 1. So maybe that is not right, what I was trying to do, because that's just digits. Permeations is... what exactly? 4 digits. But doesn't make any sense because that's just 4 different numbers. Wait a minute. I'm not... okay, so never mind. I don't remember how that particular calculation goes. There's gotta be something you can do to figure that out. Because immediately right off the bat you have 100. Unless 999, but that seems too much? Wait a minute, wouldn't that just be 999 then? Or 1,000 if zeros are counted? Or that's assuming if zeros are counted, like 001. Or 000. That would be 1,000 then, right? 1,000 permeations? I don't know what kind of calculations you would have to go through, but if you're just getting like 999 number maximum with 0 counted towards it, that would just be 1,000 different. So you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning the pick 3 lottery of your area or something. I don't know. That it definitely does make way more sense when you think about it. Instead of the complexity that we were trying to do when trying to do permeations, despite the fact that that is not the calculations you need to be able to get the answer that you need. No, the answer that we need is simple. There's 999 numbers maxed out. All the permeations are going to be there regardless. So yes, it literally is just a 1 in 1,000 chance. That is, again, assuming the numbers 1,000 counts. Oh, by the by, at first, I was going to make this guy have like a nice dark blue hair. But then I decided, you know what? Actually, I think it was a brunette hair. And I say this looks a little bit better. Not as unique, but that's fine. No, you fool. The hair. So yeah, when it comes to 6-digit or 7-digit, oh no, 7 won't work. Oh yeah, it would be 6-digit because 999 with the 6 zeros counting, that would be a 1 in a million chance of winning a 6-digit lottery system. And unless it has like multiple and doubles and whatnot, I feel like in the end, all that would do... wait, where's that? Alright, there it is. All that would do It's just increased the number even further. So yeah, it's a very small chance to be able to win lottery. Very small. But statistically speaking, if you were to play it every day, at least for the pick 3, you would at least win it a few times. At least. Wait a minute. I'll do this instead. There's a lot of cloth here anyways, so... well, a lot of cloth, but I think a lot of it's going to just be semi-leather. But yeah, that's the number there. That is indeed, in fact, the number. At the end of the day, it's just random luck and nonsense. Unless there's someone trying to, like, rig it so that nobody wins. But that wouldn't make any sense, really. It's a 1 in 1,000 chance, and if people are constantly playing it, and they get enough for 1,000, then how does that work? Is it a case of if somebody chooses the same number as you somehow, that just ends up with both of you getting like a split prize? And that would suck. You'd be like, yes, this, I don't know how much money it is, but it's probably like 1,000 or something, because I don't really play lottery. Oh no, 5 other people played it, so all I did was won $200. Which I guess, yes, to some people that would be enough. But if I want to get more, I want to get more. Because the more money I can get, the less I have to worry about going to a job I don't really like, and I can do this for a living instead. Besides, who wouldn't want to be able to get enough money to retire early and just do stuff like this? I mean, I have been creating for like years to come now. I haven't really too much to show for it outside of my creations. In terms of popularity, well, we're close to 1.8k watchers on DeviantArt, but that's not nearly enough to get me to where I need to get to. Well, YouTube is slowly but surely going up. It's just taking a while, you know? And it makes me wonder if most of that is because of Sonic Adventures 2. That would make sense. Sonic Adventures 2 seems to make the most amount of money. Also, I forgot I gotta advertise Tales of Berseria. Oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well do this. For Twitter. Not like it matters, I'm not getting a whole lot of attention on Twitter anyways because of this stupid blue check priority that these asshats got. Yep. I don't know why Tales of Berseria doesn't get as much as Sonic Adventures 2, because we already got like 41 on that one. Which is perfect for the fact that we matched 40. Alright. Cat's asleep, which is good. Less that we have to worry about, you know what I mean? Alright, let's see. Got our ring, got our other ring. And we got this thing, I think. Unless there's something I'm missing? No. Just go to the ring, do this. We are almost done, at least getting close to almost done with the shading portion. Alright, where is the squares? Here we are. This vest will have a bunch of squares on it, because I think it would look cool to have. It does make me wonder what this would look like with a professional manga artist getting it done with. Also, why did I not do this? Like, because they're obviously not going to be able to get the textures fully right. I mean, they could see it and be like, oh, this is cloth. Ah, this is more leather-like because of its cracked appearance. Ah, this is sparkly? Grid-like? Sure, we can put grids here or something on this particular thing. That'll work. So it would be interesting to see if this were to ever get a manga, what the characters' designs would look like, as well as an anime. Both. Hey, some people are able to get to that particular level by just creating constantly. It just makes me wonder if they were already kind of in the know, and that's why they're able to get their stuff published. Harry Potter started off as a book, and it probably started off as a new series that people got into. I feel like if I could get to a point where I can start selling this as a book with some pictures here and there, colored and look professionally done, then mayhaps we might get somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Also, not drape, cape. And I need cloth for this one. Okay, you I definitely have to check to see if I missed anything. Once I am done here. I think this is the only thing that I know of that I gotta do. There's an arduous process and task. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh wait, right, the box. How could I forget the box? Okay. That might be everything on you, potentially, question mark. Alright, now for the bandit guys. You guys shouldn't take too long. Most of you guys are kind of hidden as is anyways, with not a lot of decorum and details to your outfit. We got this guy out here looking like your average, everyday anime antagonist. Side villain. Which makes sense, because you are kind of side villain. You're not the bandit leader, for that matter. You don't have a huge importance like he does. Nah. Sorry to say this, bro, but your importance is nigh. Non-existent. Arm. 1C. This one can probably be what you could. Oh, did I forget to shade this in? God damn it. Ugh. It was gonna happen. One way or another, I knew it was gonna happen. Alright, well, that's one thing. Well, technically, multiple things that we got the shade in. Forgot the shade in. Isn't that just wonderful, Seymour? It's fine. We'll just go on ahead, shade in the parts that we can shade in. This is kind of a little bit more difficult to fully shade in without going into highlights. I don't want to go into highlights, so we'll just try to stick with this for now. Okay, I'll try to do some highlights, I guess. There's nothing more I can do to make it more reasonable to look like it's normal, you know? Okay, good, great. Back to it, I guess. You might be leather. Is there anything else here? Yeah, you. I think you're basically cloth. Now let's just get these shaded in, or textured in, I mean. I do like this mace, though. There's just something about it that seems interesting. A giant black club with spiky, steel embedded all around it. Looks very heavy, but this guy has the strength and the muscles to be able to hold it. There we are. Alright, let's see. Yeah. There's the nails. Forget about those. Before I do the cloth, I'm going to get this done with. Now I need to go over to here and do this. There we go. Yeah, you're not the same layer. But that's fine, that's easy enough to do. And you've got your cape in the back, your cape over here, some wraps over here, and a wrap here, and a wrap here. Can't forget the scarf, though. That's also important to get wrapped in that. I don't think you have anything else on you right now. And then the legs. There's probably going to be something here so that we don't have, like, you know, him just being over tall. It's like showing the villains of the particular episode in the, what you call it, like we did with the last 2 episodes. I guess there wasn't so much of a villain in the 5th episode, more so just simple combat in mind with that one thing. I'll start with this guy, actually. Alright, the rest of this should, theoretically, be easy. All I gotta do is texture in every bit of the characters that are showing. It's not a lot that's showing, so we should be able to get it done with. I gotta delegate where these need to go. I think the glove's gonna have more leathery, cracked appearance. Same with you. At first, I almost gave him a pair of jeans, and I stopped myself before we did that. This isn't modern day. Although maybe it is, but it's completely different due to it being a fantasy world. I just don't really know what clothes people wore in the olden days, because the only thing that I can think of is jeans and t-shirts. Wait a minute. We are. Or sweaters, or shorts, or other things. It's a lot to try to think about. It's a lot to think about. Not a lot of clothing. I'm not really a clothes expert anyways. Robes and whatnot. Dresses. No, you fool. I1D. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's something isn't right here. God damn it, no. Knife. Ah, shit. It's fine, I can fix that. Just put this down here. Now I'll just go ahead and shade this part in so it looks more combined and connected. Good. Good, great. Now for the leather. One B, 1C, do a quick save. Well, I crack my neck a bit. 1D, gloves 2B. How long have we been at this so far? Okay, not bad. We're almost done. Probably get it done within under an hour and a half, which is good. Yeah, the bandits are kind of miffed at both Gwyneth and Domadora, just beating them up. It would make sense that they would want revenge on them. How could a bunch of royals beat us, they think? As they got their simple-looking knives that don't even look like it has any form of enchantments to them. What do you think you're going to do with those weak little knives? You can't do shit with those knives. Those knives aren't going to help you. Well, yeah, maybe they'll do damage, but they're not going to do enough damage to be able to beat these guys here who do a crap ton of magic. Their power is far beyond your comprehension, yet you still attempt. I think probably because the guys up top, like this guy and their bandit leader, they do have powerful magic that could rival others. Of course, then you gotta think about, are they able to 1v4 a bunch of people? He hasn't done it yet. Will he do it this time, though? Who knows? He might not. But this time it's a 5v2. I believe the fight here is just mainly going to consist of Gwyneth and Domadora. So they don't got their paladin and they don't got their healer. So it's just going to be seeing how well a mage and a rogue, or a fire mage and an electric rogue, is going to be able to take down a group of 5 bandits. 4 who are inconsequential, and of course 1 who's the main baddie. I feel like at the end of the day, having scenarios like this where we get to see specific characters by themselves or with another character fighting and seeing what their skills are like by themselves and not in a team, I feel like that's a pretty cool... Did I texture your eyes in? I think I did. It just doesn't look like a whole lot because there's barely any pixels there. I feel like I need to shade your hair a little bit more. And I'll do this. At least make it somewhat brighter. Yeah, that'll work. I gotta say, it is interesting creating fodder characters here. Because these guys don't look, like they're the main threats, right? They look so basic-ass bitch-like that they don't look like they could possibly be the main threats. You, on the other hand, you definitely look way, out of left field. Compared to these fools, you, my friend, actually has main villain potential. But you're not the main villain. You are not. You are just a side villain. And we can also see their little insignias, logos, or whatever the hell you want to call it, right there. Ugh. Isn't that right, cat? Of course, should not be waking up because you are fast asleep. And if I were to wake her up, she'll go on a whirring fit again. I do not want that. We're almost done here anyways, so... She's going to be getting up and doing her whirring fit soon enough once I end the episode. Did I forget your eyes? I think I might have done. God damn it, what the hell? I got all that crap out. It's fine, we're almost done. Here comes the last bit of the bandit texturing, unless I'm forgetting something very important. Ah, I forgot to shade this fucking hair in. Oh, that's 2 things I forgot to shade in. And we get a third. The entirety, the half of that guy's mace, and not really half of this guy's hair, but you know what I mean. There, that'll do. Quick and easy. It takes that much effort to really shade in something as simple as that now, is it? How annoying. It also doesn't help that for some reason my nose hurts here and here. So, trying to get whatever that crap is out is annoying as hell. Not having to worry about mild irritation. It's not like big pain. It's like, if you ever talk about a little thing, it's like, not like kind of pain where it feels like it's throbbing further. Maybe it's the scun screen. Oh yes, the scun screen. But no, it's probably not sunscreen. Sunburn, I meant. Regardless, scun screen. There you go, folks. There's your word of the day. Scun screen. I remember one time I had a very big pain here that wasn't going away for some stupid reason. Then it went away. It's just mild irritations. I don't need to know that, nose hurts. Here, let me go on ahead and just amplify the pain receptors here. Why? You're just annoying me. You're just making it annoying and distracting me from my objective here, you fool. Why do you have to be like that? Why? Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's only mild, very tiny amounts, so it's not that bad. Alright, we got a cloth here, cloth beneath this thing. Now, how much you want to bet I'm missing something important here? If I were to have to take a wild guess, I'd say yes, I am missing something here. But what is the question? I'm going to try to shade in this part a tiny bit more so it's not too out of left field, I guess. Make this bigger. There we are. Oh, fuck. Oh no, the cat's overhead. Wake up. It's fine. Didn't realize that I'm talking about her yet. I probably have to shade in this part a tiny bit. I don't know why it's not looking like it's fully shaded in. I guess it's fine. Maybe that's why. If anything, I would probably try to add some more definition to the torso and whatnot. Not too much is needed, just a little bit. Goes those lights again. Makes me wonder if that's why the screen keeps flickering from bright white to not. Did it do it this time? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. It doesn't look like it. I'm sure I did. I'm just going to do it anyway. It's just because. Texture at this particular distance doesn't make sense. I got your pouch, right? Yep. Alright. What did I forget? Well, if there's anything I could do... Oh, wait. I see it. I see what I forgot. I forgot this guy's leg. There we go. Now it's distinguishable from that. Let's see here. Got the knife, got that, got this, got that. Got this, and that, this. Got this and that, and this and that. I got this, I think. Yep. Got this and that, and this and that. And that. I got you this time. I got this. I got the fingernails. I got that. I got the hair even. Yeah, I did get the hair. The eyes could probably go for a little bit more texture, even though it doesn't really matter because, again, the texture is very inconsequential to this size. Got this, got that, got this, got that. Got the hair, got the bandana. Did I get the eyebrows? I probably did, but I'm going to do it again anyways, just to make 100% damn sure. There. Got this, I got that, that one looks fine, I got this, I got this, and I got that, and this. That's a leg. I got this, that. Flower up here, don't really need it. I think I got all of that. I might have missed one, that tiny spot, actually. Now, going ahead and get just because. Got this. There's any, whoops, did not want to go there. If there's anything I could do, it would be to try to make this part of the wrap brighter. Now that's a little bit brighter. The texture should be shown more. Alright. Good. Great. I think I got that. Doesn't look like I did. Now let me do this again just in case. Just in case. You can never be too sure. Alright, I got this, got that, I got the eyebrows, even though I feel like I could probably make the eyebrows slightly a bit more darker to distinguish from the, Got the helmet, got the rings, even though I think the rings probably should be brighter than that. Yeah, actually, hold on. Switch it back over to this. Go to highlights, reduce in size, and we'll just go down the color. Make it brighter. Now, a little bit more downwards. And that should be good. I got this, I got that, I got all of this, even though this doesn't look like it. I got this, and I got that. And then there's you. I got all of that. Got all of this, got the box, got all of this underneath, got this, and wait. See it now. The color. And this. There we go. Now that's way better. Got this, I got that, I got all of this up here, I got the headband up top that goes kind of, or it's like a little crown-esque thing that he has on his head like this, that's going up like that, and then going inwards like that. Royal Regal sense, kind of. There we go. Alright, good. Now I'll just let this in the background. I should be able to get this done with today and maybe even post it early Monday or Wednesday morning. I'm just going to hide all the bandits and whatnot and move over to the background. And we'll leave it there for now. So there we go, folks. The first part of today's episode is done with only 2.5 hours. I'm going to make myself some dinner and I'll continue working on this. So with that being said, thank you all for watching this part of today's episode of Art Time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist, and of course, today's episode of Art Time over to here, and the next part of today's episode right over here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.